Okay, hello everybody, welcome to, I've just got a bit of a movie news, if you will, today. I was just sitting, and as you do, I was just dreaming and thinking of Dune, as I say, as you do, and just thinking, how much of a possibility is this going to be an actual number two? Because honestly, I really enjoyed the film. And I'm hoping for a second one. Now, I don't know how new this is to everybody, but from the looks of it, it does look like we could very, very likely be getting a part two. So, I'm just going to show you what we've got here. I've got from IGN. Now, I don't really know much on the movie news part of them, but the reviews are a bit of a pick and mix in terms of quality, but I'll just read this we've got. I'm sure, to be honest, people already possibly know, but if not, I didn't. So I've seen this and I'll read it out. So, Dune Part 2 is almost certainly on the cards. That is good news to me. I like to hear that. As Warner Brothers teases that the upcoming sequel to Dune is bound to happen. Ann Sarnoff, Warner Media CEO of Studios and Network, hinted to Deadline that despite not yet being greenlit, Dune Part 2 is on its way. Will we have a sequel to Dune? If you watch the movie, you see how it ends. I think you pretty much know the answer to that, she says. Now, I mean, I certainly hope so from the ending, It's never obviously guaranteed. I mean, again, it obviously cost an absolute crap ton of money. So I wouldn't say it's for certain, but sounds good. Dune, which opened yesterday in theatres across the globe, is based on the book by Frank Herbert and tells only the first part of the story. The film even opens with a title card reading Dune Part 1, making it obvious that there's definitely more story to tell. It seems that it's only a matter of time until Part 2 is officially confirmed, and director Denis Villeneuve recently told IGN's Jim Voivoda that he's ready to start filming Dune Part 2 as soon as possible. I would be very ready to go quite quickly, he confirmed. To go quickly in a movie of that size, you still need to make sets, costumes, so we are talking about months. But if ever there's enthusiasm and the movie is greenlit sooner than later, I will say that I will be ready to shoot in 2022 for sure. That doesn't mean that the production will be rushed, however, as Villeneuve confirmed that the emphasis is always on quality, and that right there is why I absolutely love this guy. He isn't going to rush anything. He's going to make sure that this film is just absolute quality. I am ready to go, and I will say that I would love to bring it to the screen as soon as possible, he explained. The first film, I really had time to make sure that it was exactly the way I wanted it to be. I would love to have the same feeling when I make the second part. That would be the priority. Quality will be the priority, and as I say, spot on. Dune is already off to a promising start with a 36.8 million international opening. If Warner Brothers is waiting to see how the film performed before greenlighting Dune Part 2, this certainly looks promising. And with Dune opening today across North America, it likely won't be long until the sequel is officially confirmed. Now, I haven't been this bothered about a film getting a sequel for quite a while. I really think it deserves this for sure. And I never knew all that much on Dune, but apparently, the whole Dune series and everything, it's had quite a lot of hassle and everything getting it into a movie and that. So, and this guy has done such a good job. I would love for him to be able to finish off the story that's been taking so long just to get the Part 1 done. So, it looks good that we're going to get a Part 2. I'll get this mic a little bit closer, it was a bit echoey before. So we're going to come off here. I've got another little article just from Polygon. Again, I mean, if you've read the books, which, you know, I'm sure a few people have, but again, maybe some people haven't. I definitely haven't. And again, in all honesty, I think I am a bit lazy, and I think the Dune books apparently are really rather big. Like, I don't know if it's as big of a scope as Game of Thrones, but you know, they're pretty big and in depth, and I'm more of like a visual, so it's why I'm bothered about it coming into a movie form, because that's how I want to sort of like take it in, and I just loved the first part. So there's a thing here. A Dune sequel would be far stronger than Dune Part 1. I think that essentially, obviously talking about what Dune Part 2, if it does come about, is going to be about. So I'll just read quickly for anyone who is unsure. Denis Villeneuve, Dune ends on a pretty major cliffhanger, definitely, just like you might expect from something with Part 1 in the title screen. But while this movie is already really good, it's also really slow and contemplative and doesn't technically have much action. That's true. That won't be a problem for Dune Part 2, supposing director Denis Villeneuve gets a chance to make it. If Dune were a superhero movie, maybe it would have a post-credit scene that would hint at the future, but it does not. And to be honest as well, after the cinema, the credits, I can only imagine, would take about 10 minutes on their own. So I did actually have a look if it had a end credit scene. You know, I had to flick through Google and I seen it didn't. So, you know, but I was having a look because I was, again, interested, but it didn't. So if you can't wait the 2 or more years it may take to get Dune Part 2, and you just have to know now, here's what the sequel will be about if it ever happens. The story contains spoilers for Dune Part 1, so obviously if you haven't seen the first part of the film, maybe now is a good time to turn off. If you have, follow along with me and we'll talk about it. So, Paul Atreides, Timothy Chalamet, and his mother join the Fremen, and Paul quickly unites the Fremen tribes as their fabled messiah. He eventually begins leading raids against the Harkonnen spice production fields, almost completely stolen their operation on Arrakis. Paul also gets much closer to Chani, Zendaya, who takes a much bigger role in the story in Paul's life. That's what I like to hear. Meanwhile, Paul's mother, Lady Jessica, Rebecca Ferguson, undergoes process of becoming a Reverend Mother of the Fremen. I don't know, that's probably like one of Paul's dream scene things that he sees when he realises that she's pregnant, and she's got all that like tattoo stuff on her face. That's probably that point in the time. By drinking the water of life, Jessica survives drinking the toxic liquid and gains the memories of all her genetic foremothers. However, since she neglected to mention that she was pregnant, Paul's unborn sister Elia gains that knowledge too. When Elia is born shortly after, she is already as intelligent as an adult and has seen the experiences of her female ancestors. So a little bit, I suppose, like Paul can kind of see in the future, his sister kind of see in the past, I suppose. With Paul cutting significantly into the galaxy's supply of spice, the Emperor himself has no choice but to join forces with the Baron Harkonnen, Stellan Skarsgård. That'd be interesting to see. You don't see anything of the Emperor in Part 1, so to try to kill Paul and wipe out the Fremen, resulting in a massive battle. I would love to see that. I can only imagine the sheer scale of that battle. We won't give the complete ending away here, and you'll just have to wait for the movie to find out, hopefully, or just read the book. And as I've said, honestly, to read all them books, I'm personally too lazy, but I'm just more of a visual person, and that's why I want it to be in like out in a movie form, because that's how I want to experience and take it in. While there's no official word from Warner Brothers just yet, the latest reports do seem optimistic that a sequel will likely actually happen. But at the moment, it's still unclear if Paul, Jessica and Chani will return to the screen. So, What do you think of the news? Did you already know this information? If not, are you happy that, it does seem very likely that we are going to get a part two? It's given me a lot of hope that I'm going to get to see it. Definitely hope so. And as I say, this is exactly why I'm so happy Denis Villeneuve is doing it, because he just prioritises quality and he ain't going to rush anything. He's going to make sure that this thing is done and done correctly. As you can clearly see, he's done with the first part. So comment down below, let us know what you think. How long do you think this is possibly going to take to be actually coming out, if it does? I mean, again, I want it to take its time, but I don't want it to be like, believe, 4 years away or something. So let us know down below. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Okay, just something to quickly intersect here. I think, to be honest, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with the whole releasing simultaneously with HBO Max, and of course it's not going to make as much money as it could. I mean, again, for all I absolutely 100% think you need to go to the cinema to see this. Obviously I understand it's a pandemic and all that. People are a bit concerned. So if people are, vulnerable and everything, of course they're going to stay home and watch it in the house, like, for free. I mean, for a one-off monthly payment, like. But apparently, I think not long ago, AMC had done like some deal with Warner Brothers that, after 2021, at least big major releases are going to be out in the cinema first. So obviously, part two hopefully is not going to be coming out in 2021. However, hopefully this pandemic moves over a little bit, and in the years prior it will be released in the cinema first before releasing on HBO Max, so it will make more money. So I do just hope that, if it doesn't make all as much as they were hoping, that again, it's kind of their fault for doing what they've done. So again, hopefully if it doesn't make as much money as they were hoping, they still allow it to happen, because I do believe with being released in the cinema first, it will make more money.